When the war between the Aesir and the Vanir had ended, and the hostages had been settled upon, all that was left was for them to seal their pact. They chose an unusual method. They chewed berries and spit the juices into a huge vat. Out of these divine juices rose Kvasir, the spirit of knowledge. There was no question that he could not answer. But one day 2 dwarfs drowned him in the essence of his own knowledge. Then they ran off with the essence deep underground to their home. They poured the essence into 3 kettles. They added honey and sprinkled it with magic herbs. They brewed a mead so potent that whoever drank of it felt his spirit soar high and free above worldly cares, and from his lips came ringing verses. The mead made these dwarfs feel so grand and important that they recklessly killed an old Jotun. When his wife came looking for him, they killed her too. But Suttung, the son of the old Jotun couple, found out who had done the killing, and he came to avenge his parents. The dwarves could save their lives only by giving him their magic mead. Suttung hid the 3 kettles in a chamber deep inside a mountain, and he set his daughter Gunnlod to watch over them. From high on his throne, the Lidskjalf, Odin saw the Jotun hide these 3 kettles of mead, and he decided that he had to have it. So he changed himself into a snake, and he wormed his way into the mountain through a crack in a rock. When he came to the chamber where Gunnlod sat watching over the mead, he took on the shape of a handsome young man. "How sweet you are, how beautiful, sitting here deep in the mountains, all alone." And indeed it was true. Gunnlod was one of the most beautiful Jotun maidens, and she was very lonely. So she smiled and enjoyed the company of her handsome young guest. After 3 days she became so fond of him that she said he might have just a sip from each of the 3 precious kettles that she was guarding. 1 sip from each. In 3 mighty gulps, Odin emptied all 3 kettles. Then he rapidly changed himself into an eagle, and he flew away. Poor Gunnlod sat weeping beside her empty kettles. But Suttung, her father, saw the eagle fly away from the mountain and became immediately suspicious. He changed himself into an eagle, set off in pursuit. Odin was slowed because he had just drank 3 huge kettles of mead, and Suttung began to catch up. Heimdall spied the 2 birds approaching Asgard, and he saw the distance between them was becoming increasingly smaller. Now he knew what Odin had gone for, so he called to the other Aesir, and he told them to hurry and to set all their pots and kettles in the courtyard. Odin just barely had time to spit the mead into these vessels and fly to safety, and Suttung was forced to turn back. After this, Odin always spoke in stately verse. He let the other Aesir taste the magic brew, and he gave some to truly gifted men on earth, and these men became great poets, a joy to gods and men alike. Odin had also lost some drops outside the walls of Asgard, and these dripped down to the earth, free for any fool to gather. But these drops had lost their magic power, and those who gathered them could write nothing but doggerel. In this roundabout way, poetry came into the world to lift the hearts of Aesir and men. But Odin always felt it weighing on him that to gain the gift of this power he had betrayed Gunnlod, a trusting, beautiful young maiden, and he had left her alone to weep over her empty kettles. To make up for it, Odin brought Gunnlod's son, Bragi, to Asgard. He recognized Bragi as his son, and taught him the power of the runes, and gave him some of Suttung's mead to drink. Thus Bragi became the god of the bards. As a bard needs youth to sing, Odin gave him for his wife Iduna, keeper of the apples of youth. Whoever took a bite from these apples did not grow old, and the Aesir depended upon her with Iduna to tenderly care for him. Bragi always had sparkling eyes and rosy cheeks, although his face was framed by a long white beard like that of a sage. If you enjoy these stories, please hit like and subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what story you would like to hear. Thank you.